Okay, so hello everybody. As people start coming in, I'm just going to do a little adjustment here. Okay, so what? I know Romario's a bit disappointed because his team is, he calls his Arnett Gardens. I mean, initial thoughts? I guess you're right.
Well, it's the final at Arnett Garden. We lost 3-0. Very disappointing, but I think we can go to Cavaliers and score 3 goals in that day. Football is very funny, and on the day Cavaliers can have a bad game, while Arnett Garden can have the advantage and take all those 3 points. And that's true in the final.
I hate to burst the bubble, but I don't think that Arnett is going to score 3 goals. And if they do, I don't think that Cavaliers is going to let them score 3 goals and at least score 1. Yeah. It's advantage Cavaliers. It's a huge advantage to Cavaliers. They travel to stay east, but they're stomping ground to basically seal it. Yeah. All they need to do is stay compact, keep their shape in the middle of the park. That is what won them the game today. There was a gaping hole after a red card, and guys, yes, early on in the game, the goalkeeper for Arnett Gardens received the red card. He had some insults slated for the referee. Referee didn't like it, O'Shea Nation, and gave him a red card, which, to be honest, that's a fair decision. You cannot be insulting the referee and using expletives towards him and don't think you're gonna get sent off.
But here's the thing, from my sources and watching the stream, they said that the replay didn't look like he said anything, or he wasn't. If he said anything, it might have been a whisper. So this is the second game with a controversial ending. Or I guess that was more in the beginning. So I guess you guys can be the judge of that. If you guys were watching this game, I don't know if he said something or not, but it was not a good start for Arnett Gardens at all.
No, it wasn't a good start. You know, even if it was a whisper, there's certain things you don't say, and there's a certain person you don't say to, or persons, and those are the officials. You cannot be insulting towards the official and using expletives directly towards him. No, there are certain officials that would probably give you a leeway in terms of, you know, you say something and they say, okay, we'll shrug it off. Another insult means that you're gonna get sent off. So there are some officials that are lenient, but there's no way you can hurl expletives from an official if it's a whisper or it's just a talk. You cannot expect the officials to hear and not brandish a red card for that. You're gonna get sent off for that. Any league that you're in and you hurl insults and expletives towards the referee, they're gonna give you a red card. They're gonna call you back, give you a red card, and send you off.
Yes, and that is totally unacceptable from Mr. Harris. The goalkeeper, you're going to lash his words, you know, inappropriately to the referee directly. Well, some referee will say, okay, that's the first warning, while some will just give you a red card and send straight off the pitch. And that, I think, is becoming the discipline of the Arnett Garden players, especially Mr. Harris. That's something that they need to have, right? As going to the game, they are to be a professional players, and I know that sometimes things can be coming like that, but get out of the game. We are humans and things may happen, but that's a lesson for him to be learned.
Now, real quickly, can you summarize who scored the goals for Cavalier?
Well, the trio is called MHM. Marsh, Hamilton, and Marshall. So Marsh was the person that scored first, Marshall scored the second goal, and then Hamilton tops it off. You know, persons talk about the front three for Cavaliers, which is MHM, Messi, Marshall, and Hamilton, and they delivered today. And I think it was a very cheeky and brilliant, nice little finish from Hamilton, straight over Damian Hyatt's head, and that just sealed everything for them. But in my opinion, going back to that red card being issued, O'Shea Nation is a no-nonsense referee. He's a type of person that you slip, you slide. You can't be doing this. With O'Shea Nation, maybe Odette Hamilton will give him a warning, but O'Shea Nation is a no-nonsense type of person. You know, he's brandished, I think, the most yellow and red cards in the league. So, yeah, And this is a type of referee that will not take foolishness lightly from anybody, and that includes the goalkeepers as well. And I think from the red card and the exclusion now of Michael Martin, who was basically a guy that transitions well from midfield to forward, that gaping hole, which Cavaliers fills very well. One of the teams that have very good midfielders, Kaheem Paris, ranking as a CDM, and then Marsh that drifts between forward and midfield, and also Marshall as well. That was the advantage for Cavaliers, and I think that's why they won 3-0 today.
That magisterial performance from Cavaliers, they simply played, and they played a game. We have our plan. This is what we call an orchestrated on the football pitch. They simply played the Arnett Gardens football team by passing, get the opportunity, took it. And that was a wonderful goal that made it the turn. Hamilton.
And they saw the pressure as well.
A beautiful chip over Damian Hyatt and right to the back.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Awesome.
And now we want this to be interactive, so if anybody has any questions on YouTube or Facebook, or even our website, because we are live over there as well, feel free to ask us questions. Unfortunately, it's not halftime like Vitamin 6 says. It's post-game, so the game is over. Now, Romario, let me ask you this. Now, was the first goal before the red or after the red? I can't remember.
No, man, that was before the red card.
So, after getting the red card, do you feel that Arnett was really demotivated and they just weren't coming back?
No, at the moment I wasn't thinking about the disappointment. It's a goalkeeper, and we have a like of Damian Hyatt. But to see that Michaelis Martin came off just for the open doors for Damian Hyatt, that's the thing that's going on screen, because Michaelis Martin, he also can drop in the middle. He can also play as a forward, as a winger as well. He do brilliant in that. So I think that never have a panic mood to going on when the red card is issued. But then simply Cavaliers excessively exploit Arnett Gardens.
And Chris, going on that, do you feel that Arnett made the right choices and changes after that red card?
I thought that they did make a right choice, especially the goal, the change with Kemal Malcolm coming on. I thought that was a very good change. But I think, as you said, demotivated, I don't think so, because, to be honest, I think that they at Cavaliers soaked up a lot of pressure from Arnett Gardens, you know. They soaked up a lot of pressure from Arnett Gardens. You know, I thought that the man, Mr. Man, Marvin Morgan, played actually a very good game, and he was trying to, as much as possible, get around the defense of Cavaliers. But I think, as you said, overall, a man that can play three sort of positions on the wing, a forward and a midfielder, Michaelis Martin, I think that with his exclusion out of the squad due to the red card by Harris, I think that was the difference maker, because the other two goals that were scored was an exploitation from the middle of the park. There was only one person in the middle of the park. Prior to that, there was about three. So I think that their decision to press forward was also an opportunity for Cavaliers to actually bury them, and they did. Two good goals, and I think that, in my opinion, Nicholas Hamilton's goal will be the goal of the night, because he did that so well. Picked the ball up from the midfield, which is very much missing, might I add, and then took the ball, saw the rushing Damian Hyatt, and just chipped it over his head and went in the goal sweetly. So I don't think it was a demotivation by the Arnett players, because they did press the Cavalier defense, but I think because of the exclusion of Michaelis Martin, who's a very versatile attacking player, that was a difference maker for Cavaliers, and that's why they won today emphatically.
Yeah, and just to get to that, we have some people asking, the final score was 3-0 for Cavalier. So Cavalier have to go to Stadium East next week.
And just salvage a draw.
Yeah, and Arnett needs to go to Stadium East and score at least 3 goals, because there's not any away goal.
No away goal rule in the playoffs, but aggregate is in the playoffs. Yeah. And like I said, they need at least 3 goals they need at least to win by 3 goals to go into extra time. I don't think that's going to happen because I think the defensive shape, remember, the forward line wasn't missing from Arnett, it was the middle of the park. And there were still some creative persons in the middle of the park for Arnett. But I think the defensive shape of Cavaliers will win in the end. I don't think that Arnett is going to win by 3 goals to send it to extra time.
I don't want to say because of the absence of Jerome Wade at this Arnett team performance. No. But by next week, when Jerome Wade will be back, trying to launch that group of players, that 11 men, just to go there and then can give him that 3 goals, right, and even more. I think that Jerome Wade is capable of doing that.
So you're telling me that you believe that Arnett Gardens can score at least 3 goals in Stadium East?
Yes, definitely.
I don't think so. And like I said, remember, Cavaliers scored a goal when 11 players from Arnett was on the field. 11. Damian Hyatt, I think, should have started because he made some brilliant saves tonight. And even with Damian Hyatt, I still don't think that Cavaliers is going to concede 3 goals and not at least score 1. There's no way it's going to happen. And I don't think that Arnett has it in them to send it to extra time. I think that they're demotivated from here. They're going to be re-motivated, no doubt about it, when Jerome Wade comes back. That's not a question. But the question is, can they score 3 goals without Cavaliers scoring 1? And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to win by 3 goals.
Well, my bet is against yours, and we'll see on the day, which is next week at the Stadium East.
I just don't think so. And like I said, one thing that I am giving Arnett, one thing that I am saying to counteract that argument that you said, Arnett conceded when there were 11 men on the field. They conceded when there were 11 men on the field, and I'm sure 90 or 95% of these guys that played tonight are going to play again. The only difference is probably going to be Kemal Malcolm starting, because I think he adds a lot of speed and versatility to the attack. But I don't think that Cavaliers is going to lose 3-0 to send it into extra time at Stadium East. I don't think it's going to happen. They maybe score 3 goals, but it might be 3-1 or 3-2. Because I think that overall, the defense of Arnett tends to fall asleep a lot. And it showed last year when they lost their first game, which was at Spanish Town Prison Oval against Portmore United. They lost by 4-1 in that game. And you saw the lapses a lot of times in the defense. It showed for the rest of the season. They held on for 2nd place last season, but that wasn't enough. Waterhouse exploited that to the T last season in the semi-finals, and it showed. And I think it showed again this season, and that's why they were in 5th place. So I do not think that Cavaliers is going to lose 3-0 or they're going to lose by 3 goals next week. I just don't see it happening at Stadium East.
So you guys can have a little professional bet going on to see if that will happen. I'm sure it'll be great.
I'm sure that's not going to happen. I'm sure. I'm positive that's not going to happen.
Well, my bet is against his role, and I'm confident Arnett Gordon. They are not a newcomer into this, and they know what to do, and I think they're going to get it.
We'll see. It's going to be a long uphill battle, but very long. Red Stripe is very unpredictable.
And a lot of times, Cavaliers this season, I think there's probably only one instance where Cavaliers was leading by at least 2 goals and they only got a point. Cavaliers, when they get these such leads, they don't let it slip from them. And whether it's aggregate score or not, Cavaliers don't allow another team to get back when they score this many goals. And I don't think it's going to happen next week. If it does, I say kudos to Arnett. I think if they do it, they have a very good chance of winning the league. Jerome Wade knows how to win, and if he goes to Stadium East and actually wins that match, I will tip my hat to him, and I think he's going to win the league and the trophy. But I don't think that it's going to realistically happen. I mean, it has happened in other instances before, but I don't think it's going to happen in this instance.
So we want to know from you guys if you guys think Arnett has a chance to come back and win. Anybody disagrees or agrees with Christopher, please let us know in the comments. Now, switching gears a little bit, we had another match today
before
that ended in a 2-2 draw.
Exciting 2-2 draw.
Yeah, so next week will definitely be at Drexel. So, Umar, what are your thoughts on that game next week?
Next week, I think Mount Pleasant, they will come in full speed and effect. They are at home, and that's what they want. They feel at home, and the crowd is going to be a 12-man versus the likes of the High.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I think that the home crowd of Drexel in St. Anne for Mount Pleasant, I think it's going to be just too much for Ewing. I think they're a very good defensive team, but I think the pouring of the adulation of the fans, I think that the fans pouring out their support for the Mount Pleasant team is going to be a difference maker, and I think they use that as motivation a lot this season. There's a reason why they came third in the season. There's a reason at one point they were at the top when a lot of persons expected them to be. And I think they're going to come out victors at Drexel. I think they're going to progress. And I think they're going to face either Waterhouse or Portmore United. And that in and of itself, whether Mount Pleasant plays Portmore United or whether they play Waterhouse, I think it's going to be a very exciting close after that.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah. And from what we saw from Donovan Ducky today, do you expect any suspensions going on, Chris? No. If it turns out what Donovan Ducky says, if it turns out to be true, I think he's going to come back in the next game. I don't think they're going to suspend him, because if that is what he's saying, then I think it's ridiculous as to why he was actually sent off. You know, a lot of times we're saying that the official's rule is final. But if you are telling me that I cannot make a change to the final minute of regular time, you're not the coach and you're not a part of the coaching staff. You can't say that. And just to be clear, the controversy is that Donovan Ducky, the head coach of Mount Pleasant, tried to make a change in the 91st minute, and the fourth official wouldn't allow, or at least that's what we hear.
Yeah, the
fourth official didn't allow him.
On our commentary point, you could see that the player go back to his bench.
Yeah, Keslan Hall, the number 4.
Occasion, right? And he's saying that, well, you can't have a substitute. There's only 1 minute of time to be had in.
Yeah, but you see that all the time.
But I've seen even persons 30 seconds left in the game and they get substituted. So I think if that is the case, I don't think I completely disagree with her decision telling a coach that he cannot substitute his player on the field, and then proceeded to, I heard, based on what I heard, this is speculation again, people, not the truth, but what I heard is that he said something along the lines of you're too emotional, and then she said that he said something completely different. If that's the case, then I think the suspension will probably be laid on the fourth official rather than Donovan Ducky.
So other than these 4 teams, there's also 2 other teams from the league.
Right.
Portmore and Waterhouse both have a bye in the quarterfinals. They go straight to the semifinals.
Right.
From what you guys saw today, we'll start with you, Mario. Do you feel like any of these teams can have a chance to really go into Portmore and beat Portmore and Waterhouse? Or do you feel like those 2 teams are ahead of these 4 that we saw today?
Well, to be honest, the only team that I see now that can give those 2 teams a run is Mount Pleasant, to be saying. They have a good
I'd argue Cavalier played very, very well today.
Yes, but Mount Pleasant, oh my God, the attacking team they have, the likes of Francois Slavy, Cardell Bembo, Romario Campbell, and Beckford. It's someone to force to reckon with. And to going on, I think they can beat Portmore or Waterhouse on any given day.
To be honest, I would give both Cavaliers and Mount Pleasant an opportunity to beat them. I think, if memory serves me correctly, the winner of the quarterfinal leg, 3rd and 6th, will play Portmore United, and then the 4th and 5th will play Waterhouse. Okay. We here, albeit some different opinions, I believe Cavaliers is going to go through. They've beaten Waterhouse before here at the Antonio Spalding Sports Complex. They've beaten them already. Mount Pleasant has beaten Arnett already. Mount Pleasant has the ability to beat Portmore United. So the fact that they're able to so successfully beat top 6 teams, Mount Pleasant, I think that both teams have the opportunity. I don't count out Cavaliers any at all. Cavaliers has the attacking prowess to beat Waterhouse and go to the final. In my opinion, I think overall it's going to be a Portmore and Cavalier football final. I really do. I think that they have, Mount Pleasant does have the opportunity, don't get me wrong. It's their first time out. Some of them have not tasted finals opportunity. So I think that's probably going to come into play. Shabar Thomas, this is very familiar waters for him. I think he can. But if Mount Pleasant beat Portmore United, I'm actually not going to be surprised at all. They have the players to do it. Cardell Bembo, Francois Swaby, Kamar Beckford, Romario Campbell. Ladale Ritchie is going to come back in the defense for Mount Pleasant. So with that being said, I think that Mount Pleasant might go. Within both of them, I won't be surprised. The 4 persons I predict to battle out in the semi-finals is Portmore, Cavalier, Mount Pleasant, and Waterhouse.
But are we awaiting a magisterial second leg quarterfinal?
I think it's going to be very close, both legs. I don't think that honestly Arnett is going to let Cavaliers run away like that. I think they're going to put up a fight. I do still think that based on this score, remember I gave Arnett the win before this match, and they really bottled it in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a thrilling match. I don't think that Arnett is gonna go away lying down like that. I think they're gonna put up a fight. I still think that Cavaliers is gonna go through based on the score, and I still think that Mount Pleasant, with the fact that they're going to Draxall with 2 goals to the good, I think that they're gonna beat Dewey and progress to the semi-finals and face Portmore United.
All right, so let's see. Next week in the second leg of the quarterfinal.
Right.
Well, Arnett Garden will play Cavaliers at the Stadium East,
right?
And UW High will shut it down to St. Anne, right? To play Mount Pleasant,
right?
Well, those are 2 magisterial second quarterfinal match. We await, and it's going to be a mouth-watering action.
Well, I think Cardell Bembo is, to be honest, going to score at Mount Pleasant, Draxall. I think that a lot of times Cardell Bembo, and I've gone to school with him. You know, I'm a former St. George's College student as well. I've gone to school with Cardell Bembo, and you know, he says a lot of times when he's playing for the home crowd gets him motivated so much. You know, when he plays for St. George's College, going to the National Stadium to get the pump of the crowd. So I think overall he's going to actually have that in play at St. Anne, and I think they're going to win.
Okay, so before they turn the lights off on us, tune in next week. We don't have the exact schedule yet of when the games will be playing. Keep an eye on their upcoming live streams. We'll show, as soon as we get some information, we'll put it there. And thank you so much for watching. They're closing the lights on us, but we appreciate all the viewership, and we hope to see you guys next week. Don't forget, Kassafa Super League this Friday. We also have Barbados Premier League coming up this Sunday. Weymouth Wales will be playing, one of the biggest teams in Barbados. And we have some St. Catherine football coming up this week, so keep an eye on that. Christopher, do you want to sign off?
Yeah, signing off here. It's been a pleasure working with you, man. It's always a good time. So guys, don't forget, islandsports.net, Island Sports Network. Any final things you want to say?
Well, on behalf of my co-commentator, we had a wonderful match.
Exciting.
Producer Brandon Cavalier. Thank you guys very much to joining into Island Sports Network. See us next week, same time, at a different venue to see the second leg of the quarterfinal and the RSPL Premier League. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.